Hello, hello, hello. Let me do a couple things real quick. First of all, pause the music. Okay, we've got that handled. Now let's fix this a little bit. There we go. That's more what we want to see. There we go. And then I need to do one other thing because I'm having a hard. My Stream Deck is not. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what we wanted. All right, guys. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we're gonna be working on this again tonight. Meanwhile, I want to be able to see that at a glance. Okay, good, good, good. Turn this on. Give me a good little breeze. We're working on A still. Okay. I'm going to pull this off and this one off. Okay. So I'm gonna actually put on. I meant to switch us, but I got so concentrating on what I'm doing. We're gonna switch to this screen, starting with the Star Wars story by Darth Theorist.
Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Anakin takes a deep breath and grips his lightsaber tightly. He then steps forward and swings his weapon at an imaginary foe, imagining Dooku standing before him. Their previous fight on Geonosis plays through his mind once again as he recalls how fast Dooku seemed despite his advanced age. Despite being over 3 times as old as him, nothing seemed to have dulled Dooku's reflexes. His movements were like a viper, swift and sudden, already having trapped him before he even made his move. As the imaginary duel plays out, Anakin can already picture Dooku, intercepting his strikes and then driving them back. Before he even realizes it, his lightsaber slips from his hand and drops to the ground. Cursing, Anakin bends down to pick it up. He needs to get stronger and faster if he's going to survive. He keeps telling himself that and fails to notice the Jedi approaching.
Anakin, I sense much turbulence in you, my young Padawan.
Master, I was just training. Indeed. We saw you when you started. That was hours ago. Get some rest, Skywalker. You've earned it. You need it with your injury.
It is because of my injury that I can't rest.
How long will it be until I have to face Dooku again? I need to be ready.
Anakin, you acquitted yourself admirably in that fight. Dooku was one of our best. You will not become a master swordsman overnight.
Not to mention the Count's fighting style is designed for lightsaber duels. Jem So is ill-suited for that kind of combat. I know. Believe me, I know.
He takes a deep breath and finds himself thinking long and hard about it. With the Clone Wars breaking out, one thing would become very clear, and that is they will be fighting more than ever. That means they will encounter situations that the Jedi aren't used to, and they will need to be ready. The Battle of Geonosis was a sharp lesson in that. 200 Jedi would have been enough to handle most situations, yet it didn't stop them from being overwhelmed by the sheer number of droids. If Anakin is to survive, then he will need to train, not just in Jem So or Makashi. He would need to learn it all, so he can cover all his weaknesses. But Anakin refuses. He won't allow himself to be outmatched again. If Dooku can master Makashi, then he will master it too, and more. He watches Sindralik, one of the Order's greatest swordsmen, demonstrating Sorasu's defensive sequences. Anakin mimics the movements, absorbing them like a sponge, but impatience burns inside him. He doesn't want to defend, he wants to overwhelm. When Sin offers to explain him his experiences, Anakin politely refuses and says he has other lessons.
This form focuses on endurance, Skywalker. It is not about overpowering your enemy. It's about outlasting them.
Anakin nods, but his mind races ahead, thinking about Ataru's acrobatics, Niman's balance, Joyu's raw aggression. He spends hours studying different forms, training with Jedi Masters, sparring against droids, consuming everything the archives have on lightsaber combat, but he doesn't absorb their philosophies, only their movements. His training intensifies. Day and night he pushes himself, blending forms, layering his techniques, but never truly refining them. He spars with Jedi of all skill levels, challenging them, forcing himself into duels that test his adaptability. He wins most, loses some, but each loss stings, fueling his obsession. And then, the war calls him back to the battlefield. On a separatist-held world, the city streets burn as blaster fire rages around them. Anakin carves through battle droids, weaving between styles, testing his newfound versatility. Against these droids, it is of little issue, as they fall like wheat to the scythe. Against Magna Guards, it's harder. Their electrostaffs meet his blade, and his shifting techniques begin to falter as the droids stand relentless and aggressive. One strike slips through his guard, slicing across his shoulder. He abandons precision for raw strength. Then, Ventress appears. Her twin red sabers ignite, casting a menacing glow on her face.
I can smell your desperation, Skywalker. You reek of uncertainty.
Anakin tightens his grip. He falls into Jem So, launching into an aggressive flurry, but Ventress is ready. She crosses her lightsabers and lets him batter himself against her before starting to slow down. Seeing strength failing, he shifts to Makashi, attempting to outmaneuver her and pierce her defenses. His footwork is off. His blade hesitates between forms, uncertain. This allows her to prepare against these attacks. A kick to his ribs sends him stumbling back. Her sabers flash in a crimson whirlwind. Anakin defends, shifting to Soresu, but his blocks are inefficient, rushed as he tries to regain the offensive instead of waiting her out. The searing line of pain burns across his arm as her blade grazes his skin as a punishment.
Your problem, Skywalker, is that you know everything, but understand nothing.
Anakin growls, but she's right. His body wants to respond with Jem So, but his mind urges him toward Mukashi's counters. His instincts scream for Ataru's speed, but his training falters. He is everything, and at the same time, nothing. Instead, he relies on pure instinct, doing whatever comes to mind. When she strikes high, he barely blocks as she bats it aside and kicks him back. Then she slashes upward. Anakin barely sidesteps, swinging wildly. She ducks, sweeps his legs, and he crashes onto his back. Her blade hovers inches from his throat. For the first time in a long while, Anakin Skywalker stares at death. A blaster shot from a nearby clone trooper forces Ventress back, giving Anakin just enough time to roll to his feet. He pants, rage boiling in his chest. He wants to charge at her again, but he knows he'll lose. Thankfully, the clones begin arriving, entire squads of them that force Ventress to break off.
You're not ready, Skywalker. Try not to die before we meet again.
With a spin of her sabers, she disappears into the shadows, leaving Anakin humiliated, wounded, and furious. That night, as the Republic secures the city, Anakin sits alone, clutching his lightsaber. His hands tremble. He should be the greatest warrior in the galaxy. He should be invincible. But he's not. Not yet. He needs more than knowledge. He needs mastery. And if the Jedi can't give it to him, then he'll find it elsewhere. Throwing himself into the sparring grounds and egging anyone who dares challenge him to take a chance. However, when no one shows up, he goes back to his imaginary foes. This time, the faces of Dooku and Ventress alternate, both confident and smiling at him. Their arrogance unnerves him, and he finds himself faltering again and again until he hears a chuckle behind him.
Skywalker, you know all that training won't matter if you won't be able to keep your eyes open in battle. Why not take a break? Master, I can't do that. I need to master all these techniques. And you think that just swinging your lightsaber around will do that? If that were the case, then anyone can be a Jedi. You need to do something more. Look around, Skywalker. You're just like these clones. A shadow of someone else. Are you saying I'm not my own person? These clones are designed to be the same as Jango Fett, in body. But they won't be in mind. That's because they never experienced the same things he did. And just the same way, you won't learn to be a master swordsman just by copying movements. Mastery of the Force doesn't come from memorization or repetition, though some Jedi might argue otherwise. It comes from careful study.
I like Quinlan Voss.
Is that what you did? I did. During my time studying tracking, I didn't read tests or pick up a manual. I went into the wilderness and studied the animals. Truly studied them. I observed their behavior. I understood why they do it, and I learned to add it to my arsenal. If you were to master these lightsaber forms, Skywalker, that is what you should do as well. It takes time, but you cannot rush it. Without understanding, what you do is simply waving your lightsaber around like a fool. All right, I understand the point you're getting at, Master. But how do I master lightsaber combat with the war going on? Now you're asking the real questions. Truthfully, you cannot. There is always something to do, but not enough time to do it. This requires you to learn when and where to commit your time. So, ask yourself, what matters more to you? To lead this war effort, or to master lightsaber combat?
Quinlan takes his leave, excusing himself, and leaves Anakin with his thoughts. Though it sounds simple, it's harder than Anakin expected. He understands the importance of this war and the role he must play. The galaxy is suffering, and they need every Jedi they can get to end Dooku. However, he also realizes he cannot be much use if he cannot win battles. The best way to do that is to master all aspects of being a Jedi, especially lightsaber combat. This leaves him to reluctantly resign his command of the 501st to further hone his skills. At first, he offers only to retake some of his classes, visiting the same Jedi Masters he learned from, and to take more time understanding what their fighting style is. For weeks, he observes them, learning not just maneuvers, but philosophy and advice to help him maximize his potential. But soon enough, even this isn't enough for the young Jedi, who feels he must hone his skill through combat and experience. But rather than head to the front lines where the droids provide little challenge, Anakin instead begins to explore the galaxy, looking for foes in which to test his skills. Anakin stands at the edge of a dense jungle on Duxon, his lightsaber ignited. He slows his breathing, focusing on the beast before him. A massive Zakek, armored and bristling with spikes, its yellow eyes locked on him. This is why he came. Not just to fight Jedi or Sith, but to understand battle itself. As the beast rushes forward, Anakin leaps back from each strike, dodging its claws. He doesn't want to win, at least not yet. His goal is to learn, to study its fighting style and how different lightsaber styles can be applied. He slips away from the front lines, seeking out the greatest warriors.
Okay, it'll be a parking lot and an apartment complex.
Sisters in the dead of night. On Mandalore, he dueled Mandalorian warriors trained from birth in the art of combat.
All right,
Dark
sounds
Jedi,
good.
Exiled swordsmen,
Bye-bye.
trained assassins, all become his teachers. Their skills forced into him through blood and sweat. Some become friends and allies, others remain foes and must be put down, but he learns from every encounter. But it isn't enough. He wants to push himself further, past the limits of Jedi training. He studied creatures, apex predators, whose entire existence was survival and combat. The Nexu's speed and unpredictability.
I'm gonna have to take a quick break in a second.
The Krayt Dragon's patience. He studies them, fights them, and adapts to their instinct. The Zakag lunges. Anakin moves, shifting into Ataru, flipping over its head, but he lands too hard. His balance is off. The beast whirls faster than expected, nearly goring him. He twists midair, adjusting into Soresu, deflecting a blow that sends him skidding back. He grits his teeth. This is what he wants. This is what he needs. Over time, the forms become second nature, no longer separate disciplines, but a fluid, unpredictable dance. Juyo's aggression flows into Makashi's precision. Gemso's power turns into Niman's adaptability.
Alexa, set 15-minute timer.
Teachings, creating something new, something dangerous. He takes another breath just as the Zakag charges again. This time, he's ready. He sidesteps the attack and slashes it across the
I'm gonna have to take like a 10-minute break in about 15 minutes.
Away, frightened and
because
defeated.
we have to get our car towed. We've been waiting
pursue
all
it.
day for
He's
roadside
got what he
assistance.
wanted, and now he feels
So,
ready, making his
I
way
have to
back
take like a
his ship.
10-minute break.
Anakin moves with renewed confidence. When he returns
And
to
then-
civilization, the Jedi are stunned to see him, and even more confused by his request to return to the front lines. However, Master Plo Koon and Quinlan Voss sense the change in Anakin and vouch for him. Although he has less experience in command, he does not command his legion, but serves as a deputy for the Wolf Pack. This takes Anakin to the front lines for the first time in more than a year. A few of the clones look at him with uncertainty as they depart on a war-torn planet. They had been fighting in this place for almost a month, but the CIS commanders had dug in. As Commander Wolf explains the situation to him over a holomap, Anakin notices one area where the droids have dug in deep and are preventing the clones from making an advance.
General, the droids have turned that place into a killing field. We've tried 5 times to break it, but no dice. I can't risk any more men in an attack there.
I'm not asking you to risk men. I'm asking you to send me.
Alone? Sir, I've heard you're good, but...
Have a little faith in me, Commander.
Anakin stands at the edge of the battlefield, his eyes locked on the heavily fortified droid position ahead. Smoke rises from the trenches, and the metallic clatter of blaster fire echoes through the air. There were likely turrets hidden there as well. Behind him, the clones watch in uneasy silence, uncertain of what they were about to witness. Although Wolf offered to send them to assist him, Anakin told them to sit back and simply wait until he breaches their position. He gives one last smile before rushing forward, igniting his lightsaber as he rushes into the battlefield. The first line of droids barely has time to react before he cuts through the front ranks. Anakin's lightsaber seems to melt into a blur of light and energy, his form shifting seamlessly between techniques. He opens with Gemso, hammering powerful blows that smash through B-1 battle droids, sending their halves crashing to the ground. The moment a squad of B-2 super battle droids moves to support them, he changes to Soresu and avoids their fire to get close and finish them off. A trio of BX commando droids leaps toward him, vibroblades drawn. Anakin pivots into Ataru, twisting mid-flip, his lightsaber cutting them apart before his boots touch the ground. He barely stops moving. A wave of droids tries to reinforce their position, but Anakin is already adapting. He transitions to Xian, snatching a blaster from a fallen commando droid and firing rapid shots while cutting down those who get too close. When a towering crab droid stomps into view, its massive cannons locking onto him, he draws on Niman, using the Force to rip a chunk of Durasteel from wreckage and hurl it straight through the droid's legs.
Going quick.
Explosions shake the ground, but Anakin presses on, sliding through the turret fire before lashing a hand out and crushing the blaster with the Force, sending an explosion that destroys the bunker. Soon, the battlefield is no longer a war zone. It's his proving ground. The clones watch in stunned silence as their impossible mission becomes a one-man assault.
By the stars.
As the last droid falls, Anakin deactivates his lightsaber and surveys the smoldering wreckage. He turns back to the wolf pack, nodding slightly.
Your turn.
With renewed confidence, the clones charge forward, finishing off the last remnants of the droid forces. The battle is won. But as they march through the wreckage, one thought lingers in their minds. Anakin Skywalker is no mere Jedi. He is something else entirely. Soon enough, this becomes Anakin's role in the battlefield. While he has little experience to command, his skills with a lightsaber are unmatched. Instead of being sent to command soldiers, they send Anakin to serve as a secret weapon. If there is a fortified position, a large droid force, or an enemy commander in need of being slain, Anakin is the Jedi they send for the job. With his mastery of lightsaber combat, there are few, if any, foes who can match him in a duel, and he rarely has trouble clearing these fortified places out. Under Plo Koon's leadership and Anakin's skill, the Wolfpack wins a string of victories across the Outer Rim, scoring many great achievements and making Anakin one of the Republic's greatest heroes. One person who takes notice is Palpatine. He receives reports of Anakin's success from Coruscant. He frowns and looks to the side. He has always known that Anakin was destined for greatness. His power is beyond what the Jedi understand, and this is why he wishes to take Anakin as his apprentice. However, he seems less certain now. The young Jedi has risen higher than ever expected. Rather than just become a warrior, he has turned into a force of nature. And that is what is bothering him. With Anakin's new skills, he is harder to control. Steadier, wiser, but also stronger. Palpatine hopes to manipulate him, but he also hopes to be strong enough to overpower him should he become difficult. But now he is less certain he can do it. While he considers turning Anakin, he must consider the possibility that Anakin is too risky to turn, and must instead try killing him. The next battle starts like any other. Anakin stands at the front of the clone forces, surveying the battlefield ahead. Another separatist stronghold, another fight to break through.
Same as last time, General. Droid infantry up front, auto turrets along the ridgeline, and an energy barricade blocking the main approach.
With that, he moves. Blaster fire rains down at Anakin, but these do nothing to slow him down as he deflects their shot or slides through attacks. By now, the movement is second nature to him, and he soon scales the wall, pressing his back against it as he dodges their blaster fire. Once he's atop the wall, the droids fall like easy prey. It's too easy. However, Anakin senses it too late. As he slices through the last row of droids guarding the entrance to the command center, the doors hiss open, and General Grievous stands before him.
Skywalker, I was beginning to think you wouldn't show.
I was beginning to think you'd keep running. Grievous lunges, his vicious strikes rapid. Anakin meets him head on. Though he skids back from the attack, he doesn't break and dodges against the follow-up slash. Leaping in the air, he tries to stab at him at the shoulder. Grievous roars and rushes forward. His lightsaber is quickening as he rains down his attacks on him. Anakin intercepts every swing, sending sparks flying around them. Rather than avoid them, he uses the Force to redirect the sparks towards Grievous, who makes a clumsy swing forward. Anakin pivots, shifting into Makashi to parry Grievous's wild strikes. But as the cyborg general brings out 2 more arms, igniting 2 additional lightsabers, Anakin immediately shifts tactics.
Alexa, how much time is left on the
flipping
timer?
for Grievous and landing behind him. Grievous spins, blades whirling, but Anakin is already moving. He flows into Jem Sho, hammering Grievous with powerful counterstrikes, forcing him back. The cyborg snarls, attempting to break away, but Anakin gives him no ground. Then, an opening. Grievous extends on a swing, and Anakin doesn't hesitate. He ducks under the attack, then drives his saber straight through Grievous's chest plating. The general lets out a choked, mechanical gasp as sparks burst from his body. Anakin twists the blade before yanking it free. Grievous collapses to his knees, his limbs twitching. However, he doesn't have time to finish the kill. A gunship lands nearby, and outsteps Master Plo Koon, flanked by Republic troopers. They see Grievous's burning body, and then Plo uses the Force to extinguish the fires. When he sees the confused look on Anakin's face, the older Jedi shakes his head.
Even destroyed, the General's body could prove useful.
He gestures for Wolf to take it away, bringing it to their headquarters for analysis. They begin picking through his ruined databanks, trying to make sense of why he suddenly appeared. Although they don't get much, as his body is badly damaged, they manage to pull out one fuzzy transmission of Grievous receiving orders from Dooku, saying his master wishes Anakin dead. Anakin's breath catches. He snatches the chip, quickly scanning the data on his wrist device. It's true. This was a trap from Dooku. He glances down at his robotic hand, feeling the rage starting to boil over.
I knew he'd be here. He sent Grievous after me. To kill me.
He understands why. Dooku must know of his abilities. After his success from the battlefield, he must have realized how dangerous Anakin is, and wanted to stop him from winning the war.
Skywalker, breathe. Do not act rashly.
I need to confront him. Now.
Then do what, exactly? Track him down and hunt him. Fight through his entire army. You are good, but are you good enough to take that?
We'll see.
No. You will die.
You don't know that.
I do.
Maybe. But I suppose we'll find out.
Without waiting for another word, he storms off, leaving Plo Koon shaking his head. It isn't hard to track Dooku down. Recent reports have found him in a CIS staging ground. Although most intelligence sources believe he would have already left, Anakin is certain he is still there, and true to his instincts, he senses his presence as he lands. Rather than wait for backup, Anakin rushes in ahead, lightsaber igniting as he rushes at them. He is a whirlwind of destruction, cutting through everything that gets in his way. Droid after droid falls as his strikes blur together. Although blaster fire comes from all sides, nothing seems to slow him down as he barely feels it. His lightsaber deflects them with ease as he weaves through the chaos. He uses the Force to shield himself, pulling debris in front of them before throwing them back and adding to the destruction. By the time he crosses the staging ground, he leaves burning metal and severed limbs. At last, he reaches the central command chamber. The doors slide open, revealing Count Dooku, standing tall with his crimson lightsaber humming in hand.
Impressive, Skywalker. Although be warned, I will not give you a break from that little stunt. The real duel begins now.
Fine by me. I know you tried to have me killed. You're afraid.
Oh, not afraid. Simply prepared.
Dooku moves in, striking Anakin's blade with a powerful thrust, sending the young Jedi crashing to the floor. Though he avoids it, a follow-up slash nearly takes his head, but Anakin rolls aside. As he's on the floor, he twists and gets back into position, slashing at Dooku, who turns and parries the strike. It lets Anakin get back to his feet, and then comes at him. His lightsaber flashes across the night, raining attacks down in a brilliant display of blue against crimson. As their lightsabers clash, Anakin recalls his last duel with Dooku. The Count remains as skilled as ever, as his speed is impressive, but his attacks are not as solid, and more blows miss their mark. Dooku seems to be shifting to the defensive. Anakin takes this boost and advances, unleashing a sweeping thrust with enough strength to stagger him. Although he doesn't fall, Anakin continues to press him. He shoves Dooku back, following with a kick. At the last second, Dooku halts the killing blow that follows and twists aside, but Anakin does not let him go so easily. He unleashes an upward slash that leaves Dooku stumbling back, but then he feels a burst of lightning come from behind. Palpatine steps from the shadows.
You are powerful, my boy. Too powerful. Perhaps it is time we rid ourselves of this problem.
Anakin's eyes widen. He tries to push himself up, but another burst sends him falling to his knees. Dooku raises his lightsaber for the killing blow, and then the walls explode inward. Through the smoke and debris, Plo Koon, Quinlan Vos, and Obi-Wan Kenobi appear.
This party's over.
Anakin, move.
Anakin barely has time to roll aside as Obi-Wan intercepts Dooku's strike. Plo Koon extends a hand, using the Force to blast Palpatine away, their lightning strikes meeting in an explosion. From it, Quinlan Vos leaps forward and rushes at Palpatine. The two clash lightsabers as Plo joins them.
You fool, dare interfere.
Lightning crackles at his fingertips, but Plo Koon is faster.
Going to have to
Force that slams the Sith Lord backward.
go downstairs. Alexa, cancel alarm.
I awoke with the grain in my palm and the chisel at rest. A plank on the bench and a knot in its chest. The kettle sang thin while the daylight spread, and I laid out my colors like a deck of cards red. Ash in the board, oak in the flame, pine for the frame, and a nick in my name. Then the first strike rang, then the second one too, like the whole old room knew what my hands came to do. One for the sawdust, two for the stain, three for the brush and the breath through the grain, four for the resin, clear as rain. Count it out, say it again. One for the sawdust, two for the stain, three for the brush and the breath through the grain, four for the resin, clear as rain. Say it loud, say it proud, say it again. I shook the tin lid, I cracked the seal, gold in the jar with a slow blue peel. I poured that amber where the daylight bent, and it moved like a river through the cracks I'd mended. My thumb wore red and my sleeve wore green, my nails caught paint from the year between, and every small tap from the mallet's face kept time like a heel on a timbered floor pane. One for the sawdust, two for the stain, three for the brush and the breath through the grain, four for the resin, clear as rain. Count it out, say it again.
Dooku, realizing the tides have turned, faces Obi-Wan and Anakin. The two Jedi rush at him, their lightsabers striking hard and fast. They go from opposite sides as Dooku struggles to defend. He rushes towards Obi-Wan first, but the older Jedi is ready. While he isn't as skilled as Anakin, his defense is impeccable.
How did you know?
Because I know you, Anakin, and this is the sort of thing you do. Plus, Master Plo realized Grievous wasn't the trap. He was the bait. They wanted you here, but now we can turn it against them.
I owe you one, Master.
He suddenly strikes at Dooku's side, forcing him to break off his attack. Dooku tries to defend, but then Obi-Wan comes in from the side. He grabs him by the forearm and holds him in place, just as Anakin uses the Force to slam him against the wall. In the meantime, Plo and Quinlan have things under control with Palpatine, their lightsabers flashing as they rain down attacks on him. The Chancellor grits his teeth and steps back, parrying their strikes. While they aren't faltering, they haven't gained an advantage either, as the Chancellor keeps them at bay. He begins to give ground, focusing on parrying attacks as he tries to outlast them. Anakin recognizes this trick immediately and rushes forward. He slides low, slashing his lightsaber at him. Palpatine twists back and faces him, blocking this strike, but then leaps back as the two Jedi Masters rush at him. Obi-Wan joins a moment later, aiming to cut across his eyes, but he somehow avoids that as well and unleashes a burst of Force energy that throws the three Jedi back. However, Anakin remains standing, and the two advance on each other. With a snarl, Palpatine rushes at him, lightsaber raised over his head, but Anakin is faster and shoves him back. Blinking in surprise, the Chancellor rushes at him, his lightsaber spinning in an arc of pure destruction as the dark energies form around it. Rather than wait for it to come at him, Anakin springs forward and their lightsabers clash in an explosion of energy. The two of them trade blows, shifting through stances and fighting styles, which is now a second nature. Anakin grins and parries each blow before stepping forward. For a moment, there is a flicker of panic in Palpatine's face as Anakin shoves him back. He sidesteps, but Anakin feints to the side and grazes his stomach. Seeing the battle is going poorly, Palpatine tries to leap over him, but Anakin grabs his leg and throws him back down, sending the Chancellor sprawling. At the last moment, he unleashes a burst of lightning, but Anakin blocks this attack. The three Jedi Masters then leap forward and drive their lightsabers into him. With Palpatine dead, Dooku is taken into custody and brought before the Senate. There, they interrogate him and learn about his role in the Clone Wars and how Palpatine convinced him to start it. As they discuss peace, Anakin continues to put pressure on the CIS, wiping out their forces. But under the advice of Master Plo Koon and Quinlan Vos, Anakin also begins spending time in the Jedi Temple, learning to reconnect with his fellow Jedi and pass on his teachings. Seeing his growth in such a short time, alongside his masterful teaching with other Jedi and the younglings, the Council makes Anakin a master and part of the Jedi Council, the youngest ever. While settling into his council position, Yoda continues to watch over Anakin carefully, slowly grooming him to become the next Grand Master of the Jedi Order. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
Знаете, когда у нас все спокойно, размеренно, стабильно, нам скучно. Застой. Хочется движухи. Как только начинается движуха, все свистит у виска. И секунды, и пули. К сожалению, и пули сейчас свистят.
Вон все заводы нахрен горят. Я нахрен сваливаю отсюда нахер к херам собачьим, блядь.
Так нам страшно. Ужас, ужас. Ну, ужас.
For the entire time that Vladimir Putin has been the president of Russia, the Russian propaganda's main argument for why he should still be president has always been the so-called stability.
Здравствуйте, вы идете на выборы?
Обязательно.
А за кого будете голосовать?
Только за Путина.
А почему за Путина?
Ну, потому что я помню, как мне жилось до Путина и как мне жилось при нем. Стабильность.
Спасибо большое.
For years and years, the Russian media and the government was telling the Russian people that the reason why they have no rights, that they cannot protest, and that there can be no other presidents is because if Vladimir Putin stops being the president, then everything is gonna go to hell. The country is gonna crash and burn, and God forbid, there might even be a war. And well, right now, after 25 years with Vladimir Putin, the situation in Russia seems to be very far from stable. Russia cannot defend itself from Ukrainian drone warfare at this point. Drones are reaching targets not just in Russia's capital, Moscow, but also in places that are very deep inside Russia and far from Ukraine. Ukraine is destroying Russian oil refineries, which is leading to a bit of a fuel crisis right now in Russia. There are already gas shortages and huge lines in front of gas stations in many regions of Russia. It is especially bad in occupied Crimea, which has been pretty much cut off from the rest of Russia by Ukraine. Not only is there no gas in Crimea, but they've also been having problems with even electricity recently. And also in some regions of Russia, they just started drafting men right on the streets. And everybody's talking about a possible new mobilization. All of which, once again, does not look like stability to me. So hey there people, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the irony of the situation that Vladimir Putin put Russia in. Because even though propaganda called Vladimir Putin the guy that saved Russia from the dark period of the 90s with its crime and instability, Russia right now is heading down an even darker future. And young people in Russia at this point are joking about the fact that they're gonna have to go through yet another version of the 90s. And all of this shows us that the Russian people's biggest nightmare is now becoming a reality. By the way, sponsors don't really like political content about Russia, and if you guys like what we do on this channel, if you want to support us, then go over to the link down in the description, become a YouTube channel member, or support us on Buy Me a Coffee. It helps us make more and better videos for you. So, why are the people comparing the current situation in Russia to the 1990s? And why are the 90s, the time that was pretty good in the West, considered pretty much the worst nightmare scenario for the Russian people? Well, because the 90s in Russia were a very hard time of a lot of political instability, the collapse of the Soviet Union, the conflicts that emerged from it. There were multiple attempts of a coup in Russia itself. I'm pretty sure you've all seen the footage of tanks shooting at a governmental building in Moscow. That was 1993. There was a deficit of many consumer goods. A lot of people simply didn't have jobs. The economy was a joke. People lost their savings due to inflation, and also a lot of people were simply just ripped off by charlatans who created all sorts of financial pyramids and so on. And even though the 90s were considered a time of relative political freedom in Russia and freedom of speech, many people view it as almost too much freedom because, for example, the situation with organized crime in Russia was ridiculous. The entire country was pretty much ran by gangs and there was a lot of gang violence going on. The corruption with the oligarchs in power was also very rampant. So to put it short, it was a very traumatic and very bad time for a lot of people. And for many, Vladimir Putin became kind of a symbol of a new Russia who came in and brought order with a firm hand and finally made Russia a normal, stable country. And while during the entire time Vladimir Putin has been in power in Russia, things definitely have degraded, you know, as far as freedom and freedom of speech, for example. It definitely was actually relatively stable. That is, of course, until the start of the so-called special military operation. And now years later, the 3-day military operation is still going on, and things in Russia are looking more unstable than ever. Like I already mentioned, Ukraine has been hitting Russia's infrastructure pretty hard, especially oil refineries like the oil refinery in Moscow, for example. And the fuel crisis in Russia at this point is not just happening only in Crimea, which was pretty much cut off by Ukraine, and it's under a siege now that Russia cannot do really anything about, but there are also already issues in other regions of Russia. There's panic, there's people standing in huge lines. These lines of people trying to get petrol can be noticed all over Russia right now. A lot of people also noticing a sudden increase in fuel prices.
Ростовская область. В Ростове нет бензина. Только в Роснефти там стоят огромные очереди. Мы выехали с Ростова. Вот, пожалуйста. Как вам цены? Нам некуда деваться, у нас пустой бак.
Russian media in exile has made like an interactive map of regions of Russia that already have restrictions regarding fuel as well. And at this point, it's pretty much most of the country. It includes occupied Crimea here as well, but this is happening even in Moscow as well. In Moscow, there are reports of gas stations now only selling a certain amount of, liters per person. So they're limiting the amount of gas people can actually buy. For example, Lukoil, one of the biggest oil companies in Russia, now only sells up to 100 liters per person. And there are actually reports coming out from all over Russia right now from the regions that there's even now issues with the circulation of public transport because of these fuel shortages. These reports have been seen in at least 5 regions of Russia at this point. In some areas of Russia, for example, they're cutting down on the availability of public transport, so they are either cutting down the amounts of buses themselves, or like here in this case, in the region of Zabaikalsky Krai, they're, for example, reducing the times during which buses are now going to be circulating and operating. Here, for example, in the region of Tula, public transport and bus operating companies are complaining about not having enough fuel to actually fulfill their needs. Here a story from the city of Chita again. Same exact situation, buses just don't have enough fuel. It's getting pretty bad, right? And it's funny because in the 90s, there was a lot of terrible stuff happening, but at least they did have gasoline in general. In the new 90s though, brought to you by Vladimir Putin, they no longer have gasoline. Great success! And also I mentioned this in the intro and I talked about this in my previous video about Moscow being attacked. In the city of Penza in Russia, there are a lot of reports and a lot of videos coming out of the police and like the military draft office basically stopping men on the street and drafting them to the war in Ukraine right away. And in general right now in Russia, there's more and more rumors of a potential new mobilization because apparently there's also a downward trend of Russians signing up to fight for the war in Ukraine because I guess a lot of people at this point realize that it's just gonna become cannon fodder for drones. And Vladimir Putin needs more men, so he's coming for you. Yes, guys, I can totally see right here that this is the beautiful future that Vladimir Putin has brought us to, and this is the stability of Vladimir Putin. Thank God he saved us from the terrible 90s, okay? He's such a great president that he made sure that Russia is never gonna have any problems ever again. And that's pretty much the irony of the entire situation right now. Russians are saying that now not only are we in the new kind of 90s, but we're actually about to enter something that is gonna be even worse than the 90s. And the best part is that throughout the years, Vladimir Putin has been saying that the 90s were an absolutely terrible time, you know. It was a time of complete chaos and disarray that he brought the Russian people out of.
Я не буду называть банды тех людей, которые были у руля в 90-х годах, но хочу отметить, что за это время у нас полностью развалилась социальная сфера, промышленность, оборонка. Мы утратили оборонку. Мы практически развалили вооруженные силы, довели страну до гражданской войны, до кровопролития на Кавказе. И поставили страну на грань утраты суверенитета и развала, надо прямо об этом сказать.
So yes, according to Vladimir Putin, these are all the things that he saved Russia from, which are all, by the way, things that are currently happening. A completely destroyed social security system and no trust for the government, check, that's currently happening. The complete destruction of the Russian armed forces, check, that is currently happening. And also the start of this war showed us that, you know, actually the army has been a complete joke the entire time. Almost starting a civil war, also check, that basically happened with like the Evgeny Prigozhin mutiny, you know, the Wagner mutiny, when, you know, a part of the Russian army rebelled against Putin and decided to go to war against them. Russia was basically on the verge of a civil war right there in that second. And the potential ability to lose the national sovereignty, I guess, also check, because it seems like things are kind of falling apart, right? Wow, it's really quite incredible. It seems like by Vladimir Putin's own criteria, we are currently back in the 90s. Surely this is a good president that knows what he's doing. Thank you, Putin, for saving all of us. And you know, this entire thing would not be so funny and ironic if, you know, the supposed stability of Russia under Vladimir Putin wasn't like the main propaganda point that Putin has used over the years to justify why he does what he does and why he should still be president. Vladimir Putin always liked to point to other countries and say that, look, whatever's happening there is a complete joke, Russia is a stable country. In the US and in Europe, there's too much commotion, there's too much chaos, too many protests. Like here, for example, Putin was asked a question about why Russia doesn't have protests, basically, to which he said this.
Мы же с вами не хотим, чтобы у нас были события, похожие на Париж, где разбирают брусчатку и жгут там все подряд, понимаете? И страна потом погружается в условия чрезвычайного положения.
Yes, it's Vladimir Putin's classic cope response to say, oh look, what all this democracy and freedom and, you know, freedom of protest brought to the West. Just take a look at Paris, you know, the place is a complete hellhole, the protesters destroy the city every single time. You guys want stuff like this here in our beloved Russia, the stable country where everything is good and always, you know, always going according to plan? No, 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 no way. That will never happen under me, Vladimir Putin. And once again, Putin has been saying this forever. For example, in 2016, after Putin's political party United Russia won yet another election into the Russian State Duma, he commented on the win in a fake election, by the way, of course, saying that the Russian people have voted for stability. And actually I was doing research for this video and I found a series of videos here on YouTube from 2012. So for the 2012 Russian presidential election, and basically Russian propaganda produced a bunch of videos like this one.
Вы пойдете на выборы?
Да.
За кого будете голосовать?
За Путина.
Почему?
Стабильность.
Спасибо большое.
So yes, stability. Here's another one I found on a different channel.
Вы пойдете на выборы?
Да, я пойду на выборы.
За кого будете голосовать?
За Путина.
Почему?
Потому что он связан со стабильностью.
Хорошо, спасибо большое. До свидания.
Yes, great. Another guy who's voting for Putin for stability. By the way, clearly not a video shot by the exact same cameraman in the exact same location during the exact same day. These are clearly not staged videos at all, you guys. And there's this one that I showed you in the intro.
Здравствуйте, вы идете на выборы?
Обязательно.
А за кого будете голосовать?
Только за Путина.
А почему за Путина?
Ну, потому что я помню, как мне жилось до Путина и как мне жилось при нем. Стабильность.
Спасибо большое.
So you get it, they've been doing this for at least 14 years now. And I'm sure that it started way earlier than 2012. The general message of Russian propaganda has always been, keep voting for Vladimir Putin, keep supporting Vladimir Putin, and even if you dare question the idea of him being the president, everything is going to crash and burn and the country is going to head towards the new 1990s. But at this point it feels like the rhetoric is starting to change slightly because even Vladimir Putin at this point cannot pretend that things are normal and actually stable.
Сейчас такое ощущение, что мир либо уже сошел с ума, либо сходит. Потому что конфликтный потенциал во всех точках мира фактически, он сейчас зашкаливает. Мировая экономика тоже находится в сложной ситуации. Как России удается не только удержаться на плаву, но и продолжать свой рост?
This clip right here is one of the most infamous of Vladimir Putin from the recent years during the Ukraine war, because what he said is just such a massive crock of shit, it is actually insane. And it's actually insulting.
Знаете, когда у нас все спокойно, размеренно, стабильно, нам скучно. Застой. Хочется движухи. Как только начинается движуха, все свистит у виска. И секунды, и пули, к сожалению, и пули сейчас свистят. Так нам страшно. Ужас, ужас. Ну, ужас. Но не ужас, ужас, ужас. Все измеряется экономикой.
So yes, this is a very infamous viral clip right now of Vladimir Putin, where he basically said that Russia is actually doing well, and the Russian people shouldn't be so scared, and they shouldn't be so worried, because what's happening right now is simply just движуха. Движуха is like a slang Russian word for, I guess, motion. That's the way I would translate it, really. Or like action, having fun, a process of doing something. Usually it would mean something fun by the word движуха, right? It's like, you go in with your friends to like a dacha to have some, barbecued meats, that's движуха, okay? Going to like a music festival, that's движуха, okay? Some fun, some action. But according to Vladimir Putin, an invasion of a foreign country and then, people being bombed and, men being drafted to the military and oil refineries burning and, people having no access to gasoline, that all to Vladimir Putin is fun and just games and a bunch of action. That he started because we as the Russian people are apparently too bored of the stability. It's just like, it's one of the most out of touch, insensitive things you could possibly ever say, because people are going through fucking hell. In Ukraine, obviously, but in Russia as well, this war is destroying the lives of Russians too, Vladimir Putin is destroying his own country, and it's just a bunch of fun and games to him. And at this point, I guess he's just openly admitting that, actually, screw stability, we've had a good run, I created stability in this country, but now I think it's time for движуха, to have some fun. Oh my god, bro. It is absolutely incredible, and this is once again another one of these words right now that Russian people and Ukrainians also are using ironically to describe what's going on in Russia. So, people are saying stuff like, oh yeah, you see they're bombing Moscow now, some great движуха by Vladimir Putin, It's just such a joke, man. It's unbelievable. And again, people are talking about the new 90s coming back to Russia. And it's actually like a TikTok trend right now, for example, within a lot of Russian young people like Zoomers, to make videos saying that essentially we're about to see the 90s Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Basically it says right here, these are the first 90s I'm about to experience in my life. I am super excited. In a country with the biggest amount of oil in the world, there is no gasoline. In some stores, there's now a lack of groceries. In Crimea, they're experiencing grocery supply shortages and the stores are almost completely empty. They're not giving out any gas to regular people and only are giving it to communal services. And essentially, yeah, she's just singing along to a song. And this TikTok here has almost 250k likes, so it has like millions of views. And actually there's a ton of videos like this right now on Russian TikTok, and they all use the exact same sound and the exact same song. Here, for example, another one with over 100,000 likes. We're gonna have insane soldiers coming back from the special military operation. The gas already costs almost 100 rubles. The internet has been getting shut down for almost a year now. The men are being forcefully drafted into a war and the news are completely ignoring everything. It's the second coming of the 90s. I am so excited. And actually the song that they use is kind of important too. It's a song by Soviet rock band Ariel called В краю магнолии, and the significance of it is actually that it is a song that is featured in the soundtrack of a very famous Russian movie, Cargo 200. It is a 2007 thriller movie that is directed by Alexei Balabanov, who is actually the director of the famous Brothers series. And it's basically a movie about a small town in the Soviet Union in the 80s during the times of the Afghanistan war. And the movie is essentially super dark. Like, it shows, the biggest the deepest depravity of the, Soviet and by extension also the post-Soviet system and what it can do to people. And a big plot point in the movie is that there are coffins coming back from Afghanistan to this small town in Russia. Cargo 200 is actually like a term in the Russian military for a body for somebody who's been killed in action, so that's what the title of the movie refers to, right? And this song that people use in these TikToks about the new 90s is one of the most famous songs from this movie that is about, you know, kind of the darkest side of Russia, right? So people are basically saying that everybody's life is already turning into, or is about to turn into, you know, the movie Cargo 200. Whatever is gonna happen, you know, after Vladimir Putin dies, and whatever is gonna happen after the end of the Ukraine war might actually be way worse than the 90s for Russia. Here, for example, another one with the exact same song, same thing, basically, same premise, you know, guys saying, it's my, it's the first 90s that I'm ever experiencing, so excited. Once again, almost 250k likes. Another one right here, once again, the exact same song, and it says right here, there is no more fuel, no more light and water. I guess it's posted by somebody from Crimea, actually. There is no more internet and no more network. There are tons of air attack alerts every single day. You have massive lines for groceries. There's an emergency curfew in the city. Everything only works until 8 p.m. We only get about 2 hours of sleep, and we hear a drone being shut down every half an hour. These are my first 90s. I'm so excited. So another one right here, you know, some, you know, aesthetic pictures of, you know, the kind of, you know, post-Soviet vibe, and it says, I've always wanted to, you know, go back to the 90s. They're about to start. I'm so excited. So yeah, it's a pretty massive trend on TikTok, and if you search this stuff up, if you Google it, it's generally just a lot of, you know, Russian Gen Z talking about how what's about to happen to Russia is gonna be way worse than the 90s. So yeah, surely that shows that something is going very wrong in Russia. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost, right, that the Russian propaganda has created. Once again, they've told us that the country is gonna be at war if Vladimir Putin resigns. They told us that the country is gonna be in chaos, and we go, you're gonna see the new 90s once again if Vladimir Putin resigns, and if he doesn't win, and if he doesn't stay as president, right? They told us that the reason why they're taking away our freedom of speech, they're taking away our rights, you know, rights to assemble, right to protest, is because specifically they want to keep the country stable. And once again, right now we're seeing that Russia is possibly in the biggest state of chaos that it's ever been in, and it's in fact Vladimir Putin staying in power for 25 years that has led to this instability and this chaos and this nonsense going on. And while the scary 90s that Russia always talks about, you know, the reason why there was so much crime going on is because the country fell apart. All the resources, all the riches of the country were basically, you know, somebody had to take it. And people were killing each other and fighting for it, right? Russia was being divided and kind of split apart. And a new elite was being created, right? And also, all these gangsters, all these 90s mobsters that, you know, the people were afraid of, they did not come from nowhere, because a lot of these people were actually veterans of the Afghanistan war and also the Chechen wars. These were men who came back from the war, you know, who felt not accepted by society, who felt like, you know, they have nowhere to go, so they turned to crime. And right now, we have a new war going on that is way bigger than anything that we had before. It's way bigger than the Afghanistan-Soviet war. It is way bigger in scale than both of the Chechen wars. There are way more veterans. There are way more people that died. There are way more people that have gone insane as a result of this war, right? And all of these people are gonna be coming back to Russia. All of these people probably know where to get weapons, you know, and all of these people are gonna be hungry to once again start dividing Russia. And everybody's gonna either get rich or die trying. So yes, I do in fact think that maybe the new period that, you know, we're about to enter in Russia, even if the war ends, you know, even if we get a, you know, kind of a good ending, and even if Vladimir Putin goes away, right, it kind of seems that the end of the war even might actually kind of be a start of something more serious and scary going on in Russia that is once again going to make the terrible wild 1990s seem like child's play. And again, guys, you know, I cannot tell the future, but the only thing that I do know is that once again, as always, the only person that we can thank for this great stability and, you know, this amazing situation in the country, you know, the person that we can thank for creating such a great future for Russia is the one and only great leader, Vladimir Putin. Great success, Goida. Things are definitely going according to plan. Anyways, people, I guess that is gonna be pretty much it for today's video, though. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, as always, please make sure to slap the like button on it. And also, if you guys want to support us additionally, go there to the link down in the description, support us on
Mr. President, thank you so much for your time. We meet here in Havana during a very difficult time for your country. And before we start speaking about the situation here in Cuba, the US President Donald Trump has been speaking in the last few hours, and he's been talking about Cuba. He says after many, many decades, it's coming our way. He continues to talk about taking Cuba. He is continuing to make threats against your government. I just want you to react to his latest statements.
I believe that those of us who hold political positions representing our people at the helm of the nation in a challenging world with so many problems, we should all promote a friendly a relationship that would ensure peace and security, that each of our nations and each of our different regions and also in the world to step away from confrontation and wars, that we settle conflicts not through force, and we should always stand up for multilateralism, and as part of multilateralism, we use dialogue in order to settle bilateral disputes or differences or multilateral issues. Anything different from that would be a pity. It would not be a contribution to a world in peace in which we want to live. Threats, the constant rhetoric of about an aggression against our country by the U.S. government, the almost daily expressions which are part of a strategy of a media-driven intoxication and psychological warfare in order to frighten our country and destabilize our society, is an outrage and an affront to the dignity of our people. And they're also a flagrant violation of international law. Firstly, Cuba is a sovereign country. Cuba achieved its independence after more than 100 years of struggle, first against Spanish colonialism, and then after the U.S. intervention and the country's dependence on the U.S. government as a neo-colony. We have embraced a cause, and we're trying to build a model which is our own. We are not going to impose it on anyone else, but this is the way we want to develop our country. We are a peaceful country. We are not a threat to anyone. We provide a lot of solidarity to the world. Therefore, Cuba is not a nation in conflict. We're not a colony. We're not going to give in our sovereignty or independence. These are principles that we must preserve and uphold. Therefore, we believe that it is there is an exaggeration. There are no moral or legal authority on any ruler from the United States in order to impose a policy that seeks to attack Cuba or take over Cuba.
But do you believe they are going to use force and an attack is imminent?
That would be speculating, because there's a mixture of political interests. The current U.S. administration is deeply committed to the Miami-based Cuban mafia, and therefore they're playing to their electorate base. And we are close to elections in the U.S., and they're trying to be condescending and playing to the interests of those voters. So you have those political interests. On the other hand, there is a lot of rhetoric, there is a lot of manipulation, and what's clear for us is that there is a threat. I wouldn't be able to tell you whether they're going to go with it or not, but there is a threat, and it is an asymmetrical threat. You have the United States, which is playing the role of the aggressor, and the United States is escalating its rhetoric about threats and a potential intervention. And that puts us in alert. If there is an attack, the Cuban people will respond in unity, firmness, and in defense of our sovereignty. We don't want the war, but we're not afraid of it, and we are getting ready so that we're not surprised or defeated.
And we can talk about how you're getting ready in a moment, but we have seen a military buildup off your coast. When Donald Trump has threatened Venezuela, for example, he has acted. When he has threatened Iran, he has acted. I know you're saying that me asking whether an attack being imminent is hypothetical, but we've seen in the past when he has said something, he has done it. Are you taking what he is saying seriously when he says we can take Cuba?
Those are the things that he said, and that's the way he's projecting himself towards a public opinion. I mean, the President of the United States. When the President of the United States and other spokesperson of that government maintain that position, for us, that means there's an alert, and we have the full responsibility to be ready in order to avoid a confrontation. What's most important here is that we need to move away from confrontation for the sake of both our peoples. I think that the American people, for which we are respectful, and the Cuban people can have a wonderful relationship as very good neighbors because we're very close to each other. And we can share, as has been proved at other times when relations have been at a more favorable situation, we can have many shared projects and businesses and art and education and culture, scientific research. There are so many common areas that could be addressed jointly and also as peoples. We don't like to be compared with what has happened elsewhere because that would be tantamount to ignoring our history and not knowing the strength of our institution and the sense of unity in our people and the sense of appreciation of our sovereignty and independence.
Правее, правее, давай. Правее, 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 правее.
Ukrainian drone operators from the K2 Brigade have carried out yet another successful combat mission. This is the unit's command center in Ukraine's Donetsk region, where drone pilots hunt down Russian targets every day. Not long ago, computer clubs were popular places where people went for entertainment. And this place reminds me a little of one. Dozens of monitors and people constantly staring at their screens. The difference is that this isn't about gaming or internet access. Here, people spend hours trying to make Russian military logistics as difficult as possible. Since March, this Ukrainian unit has been carried out large-scale strikes against targets deep behind Russian lines. The success of these operations has forced Russian troops to move their logistics hubs dozens of kilometers farther from the front line.
80 і далі. Давайте так, закрили ми.
We started striking targets 80 kilometers away and beyond. We even hit one 130 kilometers away. At first, they didn't seem to care. Let me put it this way. It was 20 minutes, one strike, another 20 minutes, another strike. That went on for about 3 or 4 weeks. Back then, distances beyond 60 kilometers weren't even something we talked about or considered.
Навіть не думали за відстань там більше 60 кілометрів.
This time, Ukrainian drone crews once again locate and strike Russian targets. So what happened?
Ivan sitting there with a machine gun. This is the final strike, and for them this is the last one too.
One of the key factors behind Ukraine's successful strikes deep behind Russian lines is satellite communication. It is now installed on many different types of UAVs, as seen in footage captured by Russian interceptor drones. Although this requires additional investment, around $300 to $500 per drone, and time for modification. It significantly increases the chances of a successful mission. The crews in this room are only a small part of the K2 Brigade. Yet even here, the number of targets reaches into the hundreds. Their drones operate over Ukraine's Luhansk and Donetsk region, as well as occupied Crimea.
Монотонно всім підрозділам ми йшли до цього.
As a unit, we worked toward this step by step. We tried one type of communication, it didn't work. Then another, that didn't work either. The third one worked a little better. We started hitting targets and gradually improved from there. Besides communications, software is another key factor. The more intuitive and user-friendly it is for the pilot, the more effective they become.
Важливих речей оказалося.
Striking Russian military logistics is only one of the roles played by medium-range strike drones. They are also used to target air defense systems, radar installations, and Russian troops' concentrations.
We got another Karen video for you. Insane Karen goes ballistic on police after getting wasted with her kid. I don't know if the kid's wasted or not, or if she just got wasted being around her kid.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the descriptions down here says that they got multiple 911 calls in regards to a highly intoxicated woman who was yelling at her kid and causing a major disturbance on a bridge.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, and then she went full Karen mode on him.
Stop acting up! Stop acting up! I'm gonna stop! All the f***ing way! Stop! Stop!
On April 7th.
I was about to come out, but her boob's about to fall out, but then the cop's like, hey! You're being mean! Stop it!
Yeah. He made him make the fish face.
On April 7th, 2023, officers received multiple 911 calls in regards to a highly intoxicated woman who was causing a major disturbance on a bridge.
Oh, she's got like a young kid, too. Oh, man. 10 years old, maybe. Got a phone? Young man's got a phone?
Yeah, he's got a phone.
I'm okay with kids having phones, within reason. The internet's a very dangerous place, and there's a whole lot of adults that are addicted to internet use. Many that are watching this video right now, and it's pretty much the norm. It's like a majority of people are now addicted to like social media and just being on the internet. You know, staying on watching TikTok all the time or YouTube or whatever. But it's when that habit and that addiction gets passed on to the kids, It's like, oh yeah, sure. I'm on TikTok all the time. I love it. Here, of course you can have a phone that's connected to the internet, and you know, the algorithm will be fine. Wink. 100% guaranteed that kid's going to get exposed to stuff that ain't got no business getting exposed to, and the parents are not going to have any idea. That's the part that always bugs me about the internet. It's just most parents use it and it's fine for them, and they don't think about the actual dangers for a child's mind. You know, there's going to be that one video that made it through, and who's that?
It's an email.
Someone tell me. Hey, you know, one email that makes it through. They're over there playing Roblox.
Breaking news.
Someone's over there trying to be like, hey, you know, meet me on Discord, you know, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's like, I understand. He didn't even have no shoes on. He's out here walking out no shoes. Get him some shoes. He needs shoes more than the phone out here. But anyway, like for safety reasons, I need to be able to contact my kid and stuff like that. But you don't need like, no child needs unfiltered internet access. Not that he has it, but I'm just assuming since she's got her backwards hat on and her boobs hanging out just about from that earlier scene, and she's drunk, that she probably doesn't have the best decision-making skills.
I bet that phone is the best babysitter.
Oh yeah, 100p. 100p.
That sucks, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna say this whole situation, without even getting into it, I already feel bad for the kid. I already know that if she's gonna be acting like this way to the cops, imagine how she acts behind closed doors to her family.
Right.
I don't have a problem with you. I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know your little boy here.
Yes.
Okay. But
I'm being confronted for no reason. Like
I'm sorry. Can you 10-9?
St. Augustine is hit or miss, whether or not you hit evil or you hit good.
If someone can start rolling this way, just code 1, just because I'm in the middle of traffic holding everything up.
This is like the most passive aggressive, like,
yeah.
Hey, yo, I don't know you, and I don't know your kid. And she's like, yeah, well, St. Augustine, you hit or miss, you know, you got suck. Right.
Yeah, let me get some friends here, please.
Yeah, we need to kind of move. My car is blocking traffic.
Right now, what I'm just asking is if you and I can just have an adult conversation.
I'm always up for adult conversation.
All right. Would you prefer to walk that way?
I would prefer to have documentation of your copies of record.
Okay.
Of the complaints.
Okay, well, I've gotten 2 phone calls so far. Okay.
I would love documentation.
Okay, well, I can't provide that to you right now in the middle of the bridge.
Just arrest her. Just tase her.
Yeah.
Just tase her. There's a problem. The cops have been called to me. I need printed documentation right now before I'm going to comply with anything.
Yeah.
We need a warrant for
your the complaints called on you?
Your public drunkenness and people calling. What do you? Shut up. Let's just go with a reasonable suspicion and move on.
For the
Do you think we're unsafe right now on this?
Okay.
Solid
what? Here, I've got you're cussing at me.
Am I cussing? Because I feel
you've been using the F word ever since I got here.
Really?
Is there a problem?
Can you replay that?
Yes, I can, but not right now.
Because I haven't used that word.
Oh my gosh.
Just tase her. Actually, just shoot her and throw her over the bridge. Please. Save all of humanity.
But we need the other officer to get there first and to escort the child away so he doesn't see it. Yeah.
Okay, sweetie, are you okay?
So you are the problem.
I'm going to recommend that
I'm going to recommend
that
you get in your SUV.
When did I cuss at you? Proceeds to cuss her.
Yeah. Jeez.
I never cussed you. Blankety blank blank blank.
So get in that blanking car.
And I will contact my lawyer.
Okay.
Lawyer, please. I will contact my lawyer. Girl, you need to contact more buttons on that that top because it's struggling right now. It's about to blow out.
1069.
And I will contact my lawyer.
Okay.
You cannot resist us.
Step over the barricade. All right.
Here we go.
Young man, I'm going to need you to step back because your mom's about to catch these hands.
Okay.
You want to be a cop right now? Go right ahead. Get it out.
I'm thinking she's going to fight. So
it's not a fight.
Okay.
It's a ground.
Well, I mean, so here's
because she wants to interfere with my opening.
I don't know what this other person came up and was like, screw her! Arrest her! Get her on out of here! Now I'm trying to do my job!
Okay. Sweetheart.
Ooh, witchcraft.
Sweetheart, are you okay? You're not okay.
He's down there just like, bruh. You okay?
He's scared. He's terrified. This sucks. What an awful situation for him.
Save me from this lady in her shoes she's got on right now, because what are them's? Boy.
Like, it used to be a bunny, maybe?
You're not okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she wants some documentation from the worker,
she needs
too.
documentation from everybody.
Give me the documentation.
Document that,
Document
please.
that. Yes, yes. Yeah, other officers here. Cool.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Oh, he's power walking too.
Oh,
Look at it.
man, he's got that I ain't happy face on.
Yeah, all right, about to snatch her up. Well, grab that hat.
Because that's what we're talking about. What are we doing?
We're gonna put you in handcuffs.
For what? Are we just going to talk?
We'll get there.
We're detaining you right now. Okay.
Actually went a little better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah?
Yeah, put your hands behind your back, and she's like, whoa.
She saw that dude's serious face, and she's like, yeah, let me just put these back here for you.
I wanted some documentation.
I'm gonna need some documentation for these handcuffs. Are these your handcuffs? I need proof of that.
You got receipts?
We're going to get out of all these nice people's ways. We're going to talk to your little boy, see why he's so upset. But ever since we've been talking, you've been cussing at me.
No, I have not.
Yes, you have.
Please review the tape.
Oh, I
have not been cussing at you. Yeah, okay, lady.
There's one of us that's not drunk here, and it's me. Okay?
I am not drunk.
Okay.
I am buzzed, and I am happy, and I've been enjoying my day. And I.
She ain't drunk. She's just buzzing happy. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm just happily buzzed.
Yeah.
You want to get on here? We can get off.
Let's get off the bridge. Yes.
Replay the tape right now before we leave.
Oh, he's talking to somebody on the phone. Probably talking to Grandma. Can you come get me? Mom's getting arrested.
Mom's
again.
Could you step over for me?
Because I have not cussed
Step over.
Oh, she wants to play the
Until you
tape still.
admit that I have not cussed at you once, I'm not doing this.
Can you
Can you
Oh,
just
here we go.
admit that I haven't cussed?
Oh, here we go. Now she ain't moving. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
No, I'm not. You'll have to carry me, bro. I'm not going nowhere.
Just don't get dismissed.
You'll have to carry me. Okay.
Stand her up.
Follow you, molest people all the time.
Don't just
Piece of
step
shit.
in.
You, no,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now it's escalating. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm not stepping into the fucking truck for no fucking reason. Why am I being arrested? Stop me.
Yeah, drag her
Here
through.
we go.
Drag her through.
No,
Just
you
a
have to read me my Miranda rights. You can't just.
You haven't read me my Miranda rights. We're not asking you any questions. Get in.
I was on the fucking sidewalk, you piece of shit. You will pay for this. You will go to fucking hell.
Oh, she ain't talking to her lawyer no more. She's gonna be talking to Jesus next.
That's right. You will pay for this.
You will burn for eternity. Sinners.
Yikes. Is that a muzzle?
Yeah.
Will you come over here with me?
Papa 2999 St. John's. Show 1 detained. She's gonna be in back of my vehicle. We can clear everyone off the bridge.
I hear you hear banging in there.
Yeah.
All right, so they got the kid. They're putting him in the other cop car. Being the cool cop. You want to come ride with me, son? Let's go.
Yeah, I got some donuts.
Heck yeah. Well, I wish they did, too. That'd be great. Man.
Hey, carry in. Hold on 1 second. Oh. Open your front door. Open your front door.
Oh, no.
She slipped the cops. She's trying to steal the cop car.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. But she thought they can drive right now. Poor son right there just chilling like... Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Whoa.
Drag her out in her face. Taser twice. That's right. Put her in that chokehold.
Roll on the ground.
Boy, I don't know what's going on, but she's down there cussing them still.
Man, yeah, she is.
This guy right here, look. Oh, I thought he like reared back up. Stop resisting.
Mace me now. You want to mace the
Boy, she got that money in her pocket too. That's her spending money.
Dang.
Throwing the wads of cash out there. Hey, take this. Oh, the way she talks too.
I know.
Oh, she's even got the Karen voice.
But a me some 5'3" girl for what? Fucking walking across the ring? No.
They got that taser right there. Go get it right in the butt cheek.
Yeah, good luck.
She's still there talking trash. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I will call my lawyer. What y'all beating up on me like this for? What all I did was slip my cuffs and jump in the front seat like I was about to steal a cop car.
Right.
We already seen Methany do this. This is we called Methany the ultimate Karen. This
is pretty up there.
Yeah, this might be the queen.
Together.
Her legs.
Get
her hand.
Oh, she's hiding. Sorry. Yeah, why are you
They got one leg. They got her in the figure four leg lock. They got her in the arm bar.
Got the half Boston crab going.
It's a good thing she goes to her Pilates. No, she's limber. Yeah. They got her folded up right now.
Do you have documentation that you folded me in a pretzel? I need to see it.
God, you guys are
Joey, you're in.
Did you pee yourself down there?
Yeah. You know,
either she peed herself or she's got some mean swash going on right now.
It's a little swampy. It's just a little swampy out there. It's humid. You know, she's been walking all day.
She's been drinking. She's probably got a full bladder. They pulled out that car and folded it up like that and probably squished it out of her.
Yeah.
Well, that was quick too, man. What the eyes, Dane.
That was a good look.
I thought about making a video one time because people always point out me catching stuff. Like there's like an eye tracker. The only reason I ever catch anything is because I'm usually not actually looking at like the center of the screen of what's going on. I'm like, I don't know. I like looking at like the background, like the freaking pole back there and stuff like that while things are happening. I don't know. And this like, it's her foot right there. Her wrinkled old foot kicking in the face. Like looking at all the stuff on the ground that fell out the pockets, you know?
The Elmer's glue in the door there.
You got the Elmer's glue. Glue her mouth shut.
Grab the shackle. Your shed stinks.
Boy, she left her shoes in there too. Dang. Came straight out the bunny shoes. How'd she even get in the front seat? Where did she slip through?
I don't know.
Head stinks so
Okay, in the middle.
It's so fucking heartbreaking.
She crying now about it?
Oh, yeah.
No. Yeah, the 5 stages of drunk grief.
Yes, I will resist.
Get in the car.
You are out.
This lady, she's got her like grandma voice going on the whole time, just talking mad trash, done Peter Pants. Her son's over there watching this whole thing unfold, just like,
yeah.
Oh, god dang.
Now she's blaming the cops for taking her son away.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. The video is hilarious, but the fact that it's happening in front of the kid.
I know, that's awful.
And who knows how, like I said, how she acts back home when she has all her mimosas going on. You know, good Lord.
Oh, every mother.
Oh, actually, they got him out of there. He's not there anymore. They put him in the car and got out.
Yeah.
Good. He's not here for that. It's actually good on them cops. After she jumped out, he was like, all right, come on, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Let's go ahead and get out of
You
here.
hungry? I'm hungry. Let's go get some food.
Driving away, blah, blah, blah. Everything's gonna be okay, son. Man. Sorry, what's this dude doing? Well, who's this dude?
He's looting.
Is he looting?
Oh, she dropped the camera.
No. They need to arrest this dude too, because she peed here.
Just walking.
Or maybe it's just a concerned citizen that like ran over to help. You know, maybe that's what happened.
We need to get her shackled.
What is their deal?
Yeah, what is all this deal?
What's her deal? Yeah, what is all this deal? I don't understand.
She's wrapped around my leg cap. Let go. Get her off. Let go of his leg.
She biting him. She's got her leg wrapped around his leg. And she won't let go, and they're holding her down while he's trying to pull it out, and she's like, I don't know if she's trying to bite him or not. Like, well, watch out. Like, she's trying to sweep the leg.
I will trade one life for another.
Jeez, she's about to get the taco.
Yep. I think she... Well, it's a little more obvious now.
Yeah.
I thought I spotted something sneaky, but now it's just like, well, she's just screaming and peeing everywhere.
Maybe that's why she was screaming so much. It burned.
Cat coming in.
You are losing your jobs, bro.
You're losing your jobs, bro. Oh, even Karen's can hit the bros. She's about to slip it again. She's about to get out again. Look at that,
dude. Wow.
Tighten them cuffs up. She's using that cocoa butter, that shea butter every day.
Yeah.
Her skin's 75% liquid.
Yeah.
She's feeling her wrist too.
Yeah,
she's feeling her
trying
wrist.
to get it.
Yeah.
Go yourselves. Stop. You stop.
She's trying to headbutt him, trying to freaking lay back into him. Yeah. See, she got out again. I told you, she's out again.
Jeez.
She's out again. Tase her.
Do whatever the I want. I'm in the f***ing cab. Oh, you feeling real good?
She's just there talking all
Just
this
talking trash, bro.
Talking trash. Oh, I think her boob's actually hanging out here. and just for your guys' information, whether or not you want to know this, I've noticed throughout the video, and we're trying to not don't focus on it too much, but she's free balling out here. Her boobs are hanging out. Everything. She's out here drunk, walking the street with her son. Ain't got no bras, panties on, nothing.
Nothing.
She's just out here
acting a fool.
Acting a fool. Living that free life.
Them free margaritas did not do her good today.
These cops are roughing her up and everything's just hanging out.
You want to kick me in the face one more time?
Oh, you want to detain me for no...
She's trying to punch him, dude.
Stop hitting me.
Oh, yeah.
It's the way she's pushing her down on the floor. Oh.
Oh, you think you're big?
Oh my.
Stop detaining me for
Can you grab my glasses?
some reason. Pervert.
You pervert.
Handcuff.
I don't know. I don't think the cops are the ones that are perverted here, actually.
Yeah.
She slipped out the handcuff.
Oh, that was a double kick in the face. All right.
Get the handcuff on her hand.
Yeah, what is this for? Oh my God.
We're gonna have to dump
Just, ooh.
Just get another.
There you go. There you go. Someone else reach your hand in there.
Of America.
Is she gonna get out 4 times?
There's.
No.
You put that thing all the way down.
Is my hat over there?
It's not true.
Oh, there they go. There they gave her a little censor that time. Yeah,
right.
Cover them up.
Yeah.
Got it?
$78 fell out of her pocket. She's gonna need. Her kid's gonna need.
Well, he about got snatched up too when he walked up like that.
Yeah. Here's $78.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're not good, you piece of shit.
She slipped him again? Bro.
4 times. Tighten them suckers up, man. All the way. Down to the skin.
They're finna bust out the zip ties.
She's still trying to fight.
Stop acting up. Stop. Stop acting up. Stop.
Out of the way.
Stop.
So she was back there talking to the guy, being like, hey, come down the station, give us a statement, whatever, so you witnessed it. In the meantime, there's like, quit! Just stop it! Jesus Christ, lady!
Reason. You stop.
You stop!
Jeez.
Not one tase. Come on.
Not, yeah.
Oh, you got that arm? Oh, you're so strong.
At this point, bro, they're just gonna like tie the one hand behind her back and have her strapped. They're just like.
Imagine whenever her son was made, you know, her and the baby daddy's back in the bedroom, and she's like, ooh, oh my. You could go for so long. It's because you sound like my grandma the whole time. Stop. Over emoting like someone from the 60s. Oh, gee willikers.
Oh, you're so strong. Why am I being arrested again?
Oh, seriously?
You're so strong. Why am I being arrested again?
No, and you guys don't know what.
Yeah, double up on the cuffs. Give her 2 handcuffs.
Yeah.
You're like, that's our livelihood. Oh, that's karma. You piece of shit.
I like that move. I like the get in there. Jeez. Yeah, look at the gal. I haven't seen this guy yet. That bald head. He's serious.
Colin, you go on in the house.
Hey, Colin, it was nice to meet you, sir.
All right. Go on in the house. Yeah, get her to a family member. Get him to a family member. Must be grandma.
So, apparently, she was...
Grandma's got that haircut, Dane.
Yep.
I'm sure she's a nice lady.
She wants to know what's happening right now. And she's going to need to see documentation. I have a feeling.
I mean, Grandma, she's peeking out the window so much. No, wait, never mind. That's on the light. I thought she had the blinds broke. She's been peeking.
I'm sorry, my name's Brandon Embry.
Lori, I'm Grandma.
Nice to meet you.
Actually, I just talked to an officer this morning because I was concerned.
His dad used to work with us.
I haven't heard from her.
Yeah.
And I was concerned for his safety, and I didn't know where she was
He was
living.
crying. He said, I'm tired of living.
So she's talked to an officer today already because she was concerned for her grandson's safety. I wonder what else has happened. Okay.
Yeah.
She's okay. She's not hurt. I mean, they finally got her back secured in the car, and they're headed to the jail with her. Sorry, I don't come with good news.
Oh, anytime.
Wait till Grandma sees this video.
Yeah.
But here we are back at the police station. Let's see if they can get her out of the car. Oh, this is the one that was that she was talking to that trash dude that was like, get in there.
Yeah. He about went for the choke slam.
Yeah. He kind of got that look too, like, Big Show.
How could you leave me with her?
She's still there yelling.
In case you were wondering, she's asking you to f her in the ass before you leave. She wants you to f her ass. I mean, that's what she's saying. I mean, I'm not going to condone that kind of behavior.
You choke slammed her so good, before you leave. She's got a special request.
She must have got a smile on her face after that choke slam.
That's why she's like, ooh.
So strong.
Fucking cops off my feet now.
Oh, they don't take her out. Oh, it doesn't take her out. Oh, man. But she was arrested for resist arrest with violence, battery on LEO, and disorderly conduct. Well, she probably got 4 times on some of that,
Yeah.
Every cop she hit.
Oh, my God. Boy.
Oh, this comment here, Grandma needs to file for custody ASAP.
Yeah.
After that
that's
video,
true.
for sure. Man. Hope you like that video. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all that cool stuff. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday. Such my friends. Love you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Should have tased her.
Oh, she peed here.
Yeah.
Darth Theorist, rise.
What if Anakin and Shmi Skywalker were Mandalorian? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. If you enjoy deep dives into Harry Potter or Game of Thrones, check out our sister channels, Half-Blood Theorist and Three-Eyed Theorist. Links are in the description. The twin suns of Tatooine sink beneath the horizon, painting the desert sky in bruised shades of purple and gold. Inside a cramped slave hovel, Shmi Skywalker looks up through the small viewport as she tucks a coarse blanket around her son's shoulders. Her gaze drifts down to her marred, pained hands. These are not the proud scars of a she-wolf protecting her cub. These are not the calluses of a free woman managing her own household. No, these jagged lines and blaster burns are the undeniable marks of a slave, a permanent reminder that the roof over her head belongs to another. She stares up at the stars, remembering a life before the desert chains. The heavy stone walls of the Mandalorian fortress offer little protection against the chill of the midnight air. Inside the war room, the flickering light of a single holotable casts long dancing shadows across the faces of Shmi Skywalker and Adonai Kryze. Between them, maps of contested sectors glow a faint pale blue, surrounded by empty flagons of Corellian wine. Adonai slams his fist against the metal table, rattling the empty vessels.
Shut off.
The pacifists in the capital want me to sign a treaty with corporate rats. They expect the Kryze to beg for peace while our borders bleed.
They expect you to be a politician, Adonai. You're a warlord. There is a difference, and the distinction currently keeps your people alive.
A warlord without a war is just a loud man in an expensive chair. You know this better than anyone, Shmi. You saw the losses at the Jagged Ridge.
I saw you charge a fortified hill with nothing but a jetpack and a vibroblade. While it was magnificent, it was also incredibly stupid. If you die, this entire coalition will fall apart before sunrise.
Let it fall. We will build a stronger house from its ashes.
He pauses, his booming laughter echoing through the empty rafters. He looks at Shmi, and his expression softens into a look of fierce, unshakable respect.
You are the only person in this hemisphere who can call me stupid and live to see the morning. My captains fear my anger. My ministers fear my name.
Someone has to keep your head attached to your shoulders. Your daughter is too young for the weight of your crown, and your enemies are circling the gates.
Speaking of children...
He leans forward, his heavy armor clanking against the edge of the table. He gestures to her stomach, his eyes wide with a strange mix of reverence and wonder.
Are the rumors from the medical bay true, then? There is no father, no contract, no secret political alliance.
There is no one, Adonai. The boy simply is. The medics have no explanation for it.
Then the Cosmos have decided that House Kryze needs a proper alliance. My daughter, Bo-Katan, needs a warrior who can match her fire. When your boy comes of age, we will bind our houses by blood. Clan Skywalker and Clan Kryze will rule these sectors together.
He is not even born, Adonai. Yet you are already planning his future.
I am planning his survival. In our world, a child without a house is just prey for the vultures. Tomorrow we ride for the Northern Front. We will finish this campaign, and then we will drink to the future of our children.
Don't drink too much tonight, or tomorrow. You will fall off your mount before the battle even begins.
Shmi feels her son stir under the blanket, and the memory dissolves as the phantom smell of old wine and cold stone is replaced by the suffocating scent of ozone and fried bantha grease.
Look at the stars, Mom. They are the same stars that shine over every world in the galaxy.
Even the worlds with oceans, Mom? The ones from the stories?
Yes, Anakin. Even those.
Your hands look hurt tonight.
My hands are just old, little one.
They look like they hurt a lot.
These marks are old reminders. They belong to a life underwater.
Tell me about the armor again. Tell me about the blue armor and the great halls.
You already know the story well.
I want to hear it before I sleep. It makes the sandstorm outside sound quieter.
Many years ago, before the desert, there was a great warrior named Adonai Kryze. He was the ruler of a world called Mandalore. We stood side by side in massive battles during a terrible war. We fought for the safety of his people. He was a man of loud laughter and absolute loyalty. We trusted each other with our lives.
And you were his general?
I was his counsel, his shield, and his truest friend. When you were born, Anakin, it was a miracle. You had no father, you simply came to be. Adonai saw you as a gift to the galaxy. He wanted our families to be bound together forever. He had promised that you and his daughter, Bo-Katan, would marry when you grew up. He wanted Clan Skywalker and Clan Kryze to become a single house.
But then the bad man came.
Adonai was killed in battle. His enemies took advantage of the chaos. Without my friend, I had no protection. Traders captured me. They brought me to Tatooine. They sold me to God Dullah the Hutt. And eventually, we ended up here with Watto.
Mom?
Yes, Anakin.
I like this story. It's a very good story.
It's not a story, Anakin. It's your history.
It feels like a dream. Sometimes I think you tell me these stories so I won't look at the slave transmitter in my bomb pad. It gives me something nice to think about when Watto yells. Mandalore sounds beautiful, but we are just slaves on Tatooine. We fix pod racers. We don't wear armor.
The armor lives in your blood, Anakin. The desert cannot change your lineage. Now, go to sleep.
Days blend into weeks until the arrival of outsiders disrupts the stagnant heat of Mos Espa. A Jedi Master named Qui-Gon Jinn, accompanied by a young woman from Naboo, enters Watto's junk shop in desperate need of a hyperdrive core. Recognizing the strange supernatural reflexes in the boy, Qui-Gon believes Anakin is the chosen one, and strikes a high-stakes wager with Watto. The terms center around the upcoming Boonta Eve Classic pod race. If Anakin wins the race, Watto will free the boy. Anakin drives like he's possessed by a demon, defying the deadly track and securing a miraculous victory. While the win secures the necessary ship parts and wins Anakin his freedom, the conditions of the wager leave Shmi behind in the clutches of the Toydarian. Inside the small hovel, the joy of liberation quickly sours in the painful reality of separation. Anakin stands amidst his meager belongings, his eyes brimming with tears.
I can't do it, Mom. I just can't do it.
She reaches into the deep lining of her tunic. Her fingers brush against a cold, heavy object, the only piece of her former life that the slave traders failed to steal. She pulls it out and presses the dark metal disc into Anakin's palm.
This, Anakin, is a Mandalorian communication puck. It belongs to the old days, to the time of Adona Kryze. It is encoded with a specific frequency. I never used it because I fear water would gain wind and kill us both, but I always dreamed one day you'd find your freedom. If danger ever finds you among the Jedi, or if something happens to me here on Tatooine, you must activate this device. It will send a beacon directly to Clan Kryze. It will tell them that the child of Shmi Skywalker is alive.
Anakin turns the puck over, feeling the sharp, engraved sigils of the Kryze clan crest. For years, the stories of grand fortresses and royal betrothals were simply bedtime stories designed to drown out the sound of the desert wind. Now the stories feel as heavy and real as the metal in his hand.
I thought that was just a story to make me feel better.
I never lie to you, Anakin. The device is real. The metal is real. Hold it tightly. Remember that you are never truly alone in this galaxy. You have the blood of warriors in you.
I'll keep it safe, Mon. I'll hide it in my tunic. The Jedi won't see it.
Good. Keep your thoughts clear. Focus on your training.
Will I ever see you again?
Our paths will cross again, my son. The Force will guide us. Now go.
I love you, Mon.
I love you, Anakin. Do not look back. Walk forward into the light. This is the way.
This is the way.
10 years pass slowly like grains of sand through an hourglass. The galaxy shifts, fractures, and edges closer to the brink of a massive war. Inside the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, an adult Anakin Skywalker paces the floor of his quarters. The polished floors and towering spires of the Republic capital offer zero comfort against the reoccurring nightmares that plague his sleep. Every night, he sees his mother surrounded by darkness, suffering under the scorching suns of Tatooine. Obi-Wan Kenobi enters the room, his hand tucked neatly into the wide sleeves of his Jedi robes. He notices the tension on his Padawan's face immediately.
You are restless, Anakin. Your mind is thousands of light years away.
I'm having dreams, Master, about my mother. She's in terrible danger. I can feel it.
Dreams pass in time, Anakin. You must focus on the present. Our assignment is to protect Senator Amidala. The Republic depends on our focus right now. Your attachments must not cloud your mind.
Yes, Master. I understand.
Obi-Wan exits the quarters to check the security parameters of the apartment building. The moment the door slides shut, Anakin sinks onto the edge of his cot. He reaches deep within the inner lining of his heavy Jedi tunic, his fingers wrapping around the cold metal edges of the Mandalorian communication puck. For 10 years, he has kept it hidden from Obi-Wan, hidden from the Jedi Council, and hidden from the world. He sets the heavy disc onto the small table in the center of the room and presses his thumb firmly against the central transmitter node. The device hums to life, casting a stark blue holographic glow against the dim walls. The static crackles sharply, piercing the silence of the room. Anakin speaks into the receiver, his voice tight with desperation.
This is Anakin Skywalker, son of Shmi Skywalker. If anyone can hear this, my mother is still on Tatooine. She needs help. I'm trapped by my duties on Coruscant. I can't explain why, but I fear she's running out of time.
Hearing no response, he terminates the broadcast and is left with nothing but the...
Now we just got our third color. I think pretty done.
An antique from a
Oh, wait.
Just as he's about to hide the puck away under his tunic, it vibrates violently. The blue light intensifies, coalescing into a sharp, clear projection. The figure of a woman appears in the light. She wears sleek, formidable blue and silver Mandalorian armor. A stylized Beskar helmet rests under her arm, revealing a sharp visage. Her breath catches audibly, and her commanding gaze fractures into sheer, unadulterated shock. Beside her stands a tall man in dark, heavy armor. a massive mythosaur skull painted across his shoulder plates.
Skywalker, you're alive.
I am alive. Who are you?
My father was a Donai Kree. For 10 years, the record said you and your mother perished in the Outer Rim raids. My father spoke your name until his final breath. He bound our futures before the war took him. You were supposed to be my betrothed.
Anakin clears his throat, a sudden wave of heat rushing to his face as the old childhood stories suddenly collide with the living, breathing reality.
I didn't know that the stories were completely real. My mother told me we were promised to one another.
Mandalore does not make empty promises, Skywalker. Vizsla, look at the signature on the transmission. It matches the old war room logs. It is the signature of Adonai's shieldmate. It puzzles me, though. Why didn't she use this puck to contact us?
Probably because she feared that if she tried to get a distress call out, Watto would catch wind and detonate the control chips planted inside our heads. If a slave tried to escape, slave owners would often blow them up to serve as examples for others. I found out after I was freed that Watto deactivated ours shortly after he acquired us, but I didn't know it at the time.
Detonation chips? That's barbaric.
Pre Vizsla steps forward into the projection range, his hand resting on the hilt of the dark, ancient weapon at his hip. His voice carries the weight of a hardened soldier, even though his stern face betrays a hint of surprise.
The boy speaks the truth. The frequency is absolute. Shmi Skywalker's son lives, and he wears the robes of a Jedi.
Look, scorn me for being a Jedi if you like, but can we focus on my mother? I cannot leave my post to save her. The code forbids it. And my master watches my every move. But she is a slave in Mos Espa on Tatooine, and she needs help desperately.
Bo-Katan snaps her helmet into place, the blue T-visor locking over her face with a heavy mechanical hiss that hides the lingering tremor of shock in her voice. When she speaks again, the fierce authority of Clan Kryze returns in full force.
Shmi Skywalker stood by my father when the rest of the galaxy turned their backs on our house, and you are the missing blood of that alliance. We will not leave our own to rot in the cages of the Hutts.
Assemble the gauntlet, starfighters. We set course for the Outer Rim immediately.
You're going to help her? Just like that?
A Mandalorian debt is paid in blood and steel, Skywalker. Your mother belongs to our house. Hold your post, Jedi. We ride for Tatooine.
The transmission cuts out, leaving the room in darkness once more. Anakin stares at the empty table, an intense spark of hope igniting in his chest. The heat of Tatooine bakes the landscape as a heavy atmospheric rumble shakes the structures of Mos Espa. Two massive fighter transports descend through the clouds, their sleek wings rotating into landing position. The heavy vessel slams down into the desert sand outside Watto's junk shop, kicking up a massive dust storm that sends local merchants running for cover. The loading ramps drop with a loud hiss of hydraulic pressure. Bo-Katan Kryze leads the charge, flanked by Pre Vizsla and a dozen heavily armored Death Watch warriors. Their jetpacks hum with a low, threatening vibration as they march down the dusty street. Watto flutters out of his shop, his wings beating furiously as he clutches a datapad, his snout twitching in absolute terror and anger at the sight of the armored strike team.
What is the meaning of this? You can't park those massive ships here. This is private property.
Bo-Katan walks directly up to the Toydarian, the tip of her wrist blaster clicking into an active position right beneath his chin.
We're here for Shmi Skywalker. Produce her immediately, or we will reduce this entire block to ash.
Skywalker, the slave woman. I sold her years ago to a moisture farmer named Klieg Lars, out near the desert wastes. Please, don't shoot.
Where is the farm? Give us the coordinates now.
Watto scrambles to punch the telemetry data into the gauntlet computer of the warrior. The moment the data transfers, Bo-Katan turns away from the merchant without a word.
To the skies. We have a warrior to bring home.
The squad ignites their jetpacks simultaneously, launching into the air in a cloud of blue flame. The transport roars to life, tracking the signal across the dune sea. At the Lars homestead, the air is thick with grief and desperation. Klieg Lars sits in a repulsor chair, his leg heavily bandaged, following a brutal encounter with Tusken Raiders. Young Owen Lars and Beru stand near the entrance of the underground hovel, watching the horizon with grim expressions. Shmi Skywalker is gone, captured by a raiding party days prior. Suddenly, the sky fills with the roar of heavy engines. Two Mandalorian transports hover over the homestead, dropping anchors into the sand as warriors rappel down ropes to the surface. Klieg reaches for his rifle, but Pre Vizsla lands directly in front of him, knocking the weapon away with a swift sweep of his armored leg.
Who are you? What do you want with us? We have nothing left.
Where is Shmi Skywalker? We traced her signature to this location.
You were too late. The Sand People took her 3 nights ago. A whole hunting party. My father lost his leg trying to get her back. No one survives their camps. They're monsters.
Monsters have never encountered Clan Kreese. Vizsla, take the heavy repeaters. We sweep the canyon coordinates.
The warriors do not hesitate. They launch into the sky, their jetpacks carving bright trails across the desert expanse. Within minutes, the strike team arrives at the rocky canyon camp of the Tusken Raiders.
Here we go.
The Raiders look up, shrieking in defiance as they raise their cycler rifles toward the sky. Pre Vizsla opens fire from above. Heavy blaster cannons tear through their fortifications of the camp. The Death Watch warriors descend like a thunderstorm, their vambraces unleashing streams of liquid fire that clear the trenches in seconds. Bo-Katan slides through the center of the camp, her dual blasters finding their targets with flawless, lethal precision. The results are nothing short of a slaughter. She whips open the heavy leather flap of the central tent. Inside, Shmi Skywalker lies bound to a wooden frame, battered and pale, but her eyes remain bright with the unyielding spirit of a warrior. She looks up through the gloom, recognizing the blue and silver armor of House Kreese instantly. She gives a short, cheeky grin, marred by injury and fatigue.
You took your time, daughter of Adonai.
Bo-Katan slices through the heavy ropes with her gauntlet blade, catching Shmi as she collapses down from the frame.
The galaxy is a large place, Shmi, but promise made by my father is never forgotten. Your boy lives. He'd let us know you were here.
Pre Vizsla walks into the tent, cleaning his vibroblade of desert dust. He looks down at
Now
Shmi,
plug it
offering
back
a
up.
rare, respectful
Plug
nod
it
to the
back
woman
up.
who once led campaigns
Plug it back
alongside the
up.
greatest warlord. Shmi looks at Pre Vizsla with a look of utter contempt. She has so many questions running through her mind, the first being how Bo managed to get involved with Death Watch. But the words fall to the back of her mind as her strength fails her. She leans against Bo-Katan's armored shoulder, a wary smile breaking across her cracked lips as they walk out into the bright light of the twin suns.
I told him to remember the stars.
Your place is no longer in the sand, Shmi. We return to Mandalore to prepare for your son's arrival. This is the way.
This is the way.
On Naboo, Anakin stands on the balcony of the Veracino villa, watching the sun reflect on the calm waters. Padme sits nearby, watching him with quiet concern. Suddenly, a low tectonic rumble echoes across the lake. The serene silence shatters as two massive fighter transports pierce through the clouds, their blue engine glow reflecting off the water. Sleek Mandalorian vessels descend directly onto the grassy terrace of the villa, flattening the manicured lawns. Padme leaps to her feet, her hand instinctively searching for a concealed blaster.
Anakin, look out!
Stay back, Padme. It's all right. I know who they are.
The loading ramps hiss open. Bo-Katan Kryze emerges from the lead ship, her blue armor gleaming under the Naboo sun. Behind her walks a figure clad in simple, clean garments, moving with a grace and dignity that the desert could never strip away. Anakin freezes. His breath catches in his throat.
Where did I put
Skywalker steps forward onto the stone terrace.
Mom?
Anakin.
Anakin sprints across the stone terrace, throwing his arms around his mother. Shmi holds him tightly, her scarred hands gripping the fabric of his Jedi robes. For 10 years, the galaxy kept them apart, but the ancient blood oath of Mandalore brought them back together.
They actually found you. The puck worked.
Bo-Katan steps forward, removing her helmet. Her sharp eyes scan Anakin, taking in his tall frame, his intense focus, and the lightsaber hanging from his waist. A complex look of pride and calculation crosses her features as she looks at her long-lost betrothed.
We keep our word, Skywalker. Your mother is free, and she's under the protection of Clan Kreese now.
I don't know how to thank you, Bo-Katan. You risked everything to save her.
We risk nothing. We simply took what belongs to us. And now, we must discuss what the future holds for us. Mandalore is breaking, Anakin. The Republic is a rotting corpse, and the Jedi are nothing but bureaucrats in robes. My father swore an oath to your mother. He bound our names. So I ask you now, come home and marry me. Take your rightful place among your brothers and sisters. Together we can rebuild House Kreese and forge a galaxy where no one we love is ever enslaved again.
Anakin does not know how to react to this. He goes to open his mouth when he's suddenly interrupted by the sound of a hollow transmitter. The bright blue light blinks rapidly on the small communication console attached to Anakin's utility belt, overriding the local receivers of the terrace. The miniature figure of Obi-Wan Kenobi flashes to life, his image heavily distorted by static and deep space interference. He gasps for air, the background showing a sleek, polished black corridor of an elite enclave on Geonosis.
Anakin, Cullen, Anakin, my transmitter is failing. I tracked the bounty hunter Jango Fett to Geonosis, but I walked directly into a massive separatist assembly. You must retransmit this message back to Coruscant immediately, and tell the Council—
Shut your mouth, Kenobi.
The Mandalorian warrior steps directly into the projection beam, her shadow cutting across the miniature form of the Jedi Knight. Her voice carries a dangerous, icy edge.
Anakin, who is this?
My name is Bo-Katan. I'm his betrothed, you blind monk. I'm the woman who just pulled his mother out of the desert while you and your precious order left her to rot in chains. Your Republic is a playground for corporate vultures, and your Jedi Order is nothing but a collection of spineless hypocrites who preach peace while hiding behind temple walls.
Bo-Katan. First of all, I don't exactly have time for this conversation. Second of all, this is a vast oversimplification. The Jedi operate within the laws of the Republic. We cannot simply invade sovereign territory to break treaties. The Order serves the greater good, and Anakin's path is to be a guardian of that peace.
The greater good? You speak of peace, yet you abandoned Anakin's mother just like you abandoned my sister. She never said a word to you, but she wanted to stay. Instead, you chose your order over her, just as you demanded Anakin choose your order over his mother.
Obi-Wan freezes, the holographic image of his face tightening as the blood completely drains from his cheeks. The ambient noise of Geonosis' factories fades into a suffocating silence.
Your sister?
Satine.
The name hangs in the humid Naboo air like a heavy anvil. Obi-Wan stands entirely motionless within the blue light, his jaw tightening as his usual quick wit and diplomatic composure shatter into total silence. Anakin looks between the frozen image of his master and the rigid...
I was always, before they did away with
turning into a sharp growing
the extended universe, I was always a bigger fan of Obi-Wan and Tal.
Years ago, before you came to the temple, Anakin, Qui-Gon and I were assigned to protect Duchess Satine Kryze during the civil war on Mandalore. We spent a year on the run. We grew incredibly close. If she had asked me to leave the Order, I would have walked away from the Jedi without a second thought. But she didn't ask, and the code required me to return to Coruscant.
Anakin stares at the hologram. A sudden wave of sharp, biting anger ripples through his chest. He clutches his fists, his fingers digging into his palms as the pure hypocrisy of his master's past lectures hit him like a physical blow.
You spent a year on the run with a princess, and you would have left the Order for her.
Anakin, it was a different time. It was an attachment I had to overcome to serve.
You gave me complete Sith spit for even looking at Padme. You tell me that my thoughts about the Senator are dangerous, that attachment leads to the dark side, and that I need to master my feelings. Meanwhile, you were doing the exact same thing.
Anakin, please. This is not the time for this argument. The Separatists are...
Before Obi-Wan can finish his sentence, a loud metallic clanking echoes through his transmitter. The mechanical screech of dropping shields fills the audio feed. Two massive rolling droideka uncurl from the shadows behind the Jedi Knight, their twin blaster cannons snapping into an active position with a high-pitched whine.
Blast it! Anakin, transmit the coordinates to Coruscant now.
Anakin does so. At first, though, he is silent. Conflict is etched all over his face, but Bo-Katan can see where he is leaning.
You want to rescue him, after everything that's happened?
Oh, believe me, I'm not happy with him or the Order, but he's still my master and my friend. I can't just leave him to die. The problem is I'm supposed to protect the Senator.
Well, lucky for you, I fully intend to rescue him. So I guess you'll just have to come with me.
We are with you, brother. Consider this your welcoming to the fold. Besides, Clan Vizsla has a long overdue debt to pay to Django and Clan Varil.
Jaster, Morel, and Adonai were more Mandalorian than you and your band of savages will ever be.
Your ire is about Maril's personal honor. I was trying to reclaim our people's greatness. Meanwhile, Jaster's so-called true Mandalorians led the door to Satine's pacifistic ideas that have left our people soft, weak, and as helpless as lambs ready for slaughter.
It's true. There is a reason why I have aligned with the Death Watch. My sister has grown so afraid of her own shadow that she won't even allow our homeworld a standard militia defense system.
Do not mock Satine in front of me, Vizsla. Had you let me advise her instead of shipping us off onto a desert planet?
Anakin looks to Vizsla as a realization strikes him.
Wait, you were...
Anakin's lightsaber flashes, and he looks like he's ready to pounce. But before he can commit to any action, Padme and Bo-Katan hold their respective factions back.
Look, we can discuss whatever blood issues are going on later. Right now, we need to focus on helping Obi-Wan.
Agreed. But make no mistake, Vizsla. This isn't over.
The serene blue skies of Naboo are replaced by the toxic, rust-colored stratosphere of Geonosis. The transports scream through the atmosphere, completely ignoring the planetary defense grids as they drive straight toward the primary spire with the Stelgason hive. The lower loading ramps drop before the ships even touch the ground. Death Watch commando troops drop to the canyons like steel. The Geonosian warriors swarm out of the rock faces, their wings buzzing ferociously as they raise their sonic blasters, but they are utterly unprepared for the sheer brutal efficiency of a Mandalorian drop enclave. Between the roaring sheets of specialized wrist-mounted flamethrowers clearing out the tunnels and the heavy thermal explosives shattering the support pillars, the engagement is a completely one-sided battle. The Geonosians are systematically incinerated by flames or crushed beneath their own collapsing architecture, their sonic rounds deflecting harmlessly off the reinforced Beskar plating of the Vanguard. Deep within the damp, subterranean levels of the Hive, Bo-Katan and Anakin move in perfect synchronized movement. Anakin cuts through the lines of battle with sweeping aggressive strikes. His blue blade reflects off Bo-Katan's armor as she covers his flanks with precise dual blaster fire. They blast through the high-security holding cells, blowing the heavy blast doors off their hinges to find Obi-Wan Kenobi suspended in a magnetic containment field. Obi-Wan blinks against the dust of the explosion, his eyes widening as Anakin shatters the emitter nodes with a single flick of his lightsaber, dropping his master to the floor.
Anakin, I see you brought reinforcements, though I do question their methods.
Save the lecture for later, Master. We're getting you out of here.
While the rescue team secures the lower levels, Pre Vizsla leads his heavy shock troopers directly to the upper spires, breaching the reinforced dome of the Separatist Council chamber. Inside, the corporate leaders Newt Gunray, Wat Tambor, and the rest of the executive board shriek in terror, scrambling away from the grand table as Vizsla steps through the smoke. From the cockpit of the hovering transport above, Padme watches the real-time tactical feed, her face twisting into obscure horror as she realizes what the Death Watch leader is pulling from his utility belt. She screams for him to stop, but Pre Vizsla does not even hesitate. He primes a heavy thermal imploder and hurls it directly into the center of the council table. His voice amplification system carries his cold resolve over the comms.
Republic laws do not apply to Mandalore, Senator.
He fires his jetpack, rocketing backwards out of the chamber just as the imploder detonates. A blinding, localized implosion vacuums the oxygen from the room before expanding it into a massive, violent fireball, completely obliterating the Separatist council chamber. The corporate executives are erased in an instant, leaving Count Dooku and Jango Fett as the only survivors to stumble out of the burning wreckage of the upper terrace. Dooku draws his curved hilt, his face a mask of cold fury, but the sheer volume of Death Watch's explosive fire forces him to retreat toward his solar sailor. Jango Fett, however, fires his jetpack, landing hard on the rocky platform directly opposite Pre Vizsla. The two Mandalorians circle each other amidst the smoke and falling debris, their hands hovering over their weapons.
Traitor! That's rich coming from scum like you.
Vizsla's response is the immediate, deafening roar of his jetpack. He rockets forward, drawing the ancient, black-bladed darksaber. The unique weapon crackles with a low, menacing hum, its white-hot edges tearing through the airborne soot as he swings at Fett's head. Jango drops flat beneath the arc of the blade, his twin Wester 34 blaster firing a rapid succession of blue plasma bolts directly into Vizsla's chest. The heavy Beskar armor deflects the brunt of the impact, but the sheer kinetic force staggers the Death Watch leader backward. Vizsla snarls, using his wrist-mounted whipcord to snare Jango's arm, jerking the bounty hunter off balance, disarming him of his blasters. They collide in a brutal, unrefined display of Mandalorian close-quarter combat, helmet smashing against helmet, knees driving into armor gaps, Jango using a hidden vibroblade to block the darksaber. Vizsla gains the upper hand, pinning Jango to the rock. The crackling edge of the darksaber inches from Jango's throat.
You are clone herder, Fett. A stain on our history.
Jango looks directly past the black blade into Vizsla's eyes, his expression twisting into a cold, lethal grin.
This is for Juste.
Before Vizsla can process the name, Jango activates his jetpack's missile launcher at point-blank range. The rocket doesn't fire upward. Instead, Jango triggers a manual override, detonating the thruster fuel directly into Vizsla's faceplate. The localized explosion shatters Vizsla's visor and throws him backwards into the jagged stone. Now, with an opening, Jango takes the blade and stabs it into Vizsla's exposed neck. The Death Watch leader stiffens, his breath hitched before his body goes entirely limp. The darksaber slips from his fingers, clattering loudly against the stone terrace. Jango stands over the corpse, panting. He reaches down and wraps his gauntleted hand around the hilt of the ancient weapon, lifting it from the dirt as the remaining Death Watch commandos in the courtyard freeze in sheer, stunned silence. Jango turns to make his escape toward the lower landing platforms, but his path is instantly blocked. Anakin Skywalker, Bo-Katan Kryze, and Obi-Wan Kenobi emerge from the Hive entrance, their weapons drawn. Anakin's eyes lock onto the darksaber in Jango's hand, and then down.
I think after this story, I'm gonna call it a night.
Steps forward, his blue blade igniting.
I got a lot done, but my neck is starting to hurt.
His lightsaber coming up to assist his Padawan.
Anakin, wait. Together.
Bo-Katan's armor-clad arm snaps out to stop Obi-Wan in his path. Her grip on his shoulder is like iron. her eyes fixed entirely on the clash between the Jedi and the bounty hunter.
Stay back, Kenobi.
He's a bounty hunter, Bo-Katan. He's trying to kill my Padawan.
Jango has slain Vizsla and holds the blade. By our laws, this is a challenge to the right to rule. Let him finish it as his tradition. This is the way.
And why should I care about your traditions?
Because this fight is as much Anakin's trial as it is a Mandalorian tradition. I would have thought you Jedi would understand something like that.
Obi-Wan does, and takes a step back with a nod. Anakin's fury drives Jango backward. Fett fires blasters hidden in his shin armor, but Anakin deflects the bolts effortlessly, slicing the barrels off the Wester pistols with 2 precise strikes. Jango ignites the Darksaber to parry, but he is exhausted from his fight with Vizsla. The heavy kinetic strikes of Anakin's lightsaber beat down on Jango's blade, vibrating through his arms until the sheer force of a telekinetic push slams Fett against the canyon wall. Anakin stands over him, blue blade humming inches from Jango's helmeted face, the raw power of the Force rolling off the young Jedi in waves. Jango looks up at the blue plasma, his breath rattling inside his helmet. He lowers the Darksaber, letting the black blade deactivate. He drops his head back against the stone.
I yield.
Anakin steps forward, deactivating his saber and hooking it to his belt. He reaches down, wrapping his gloved hand around Jango Fett's armored forearm, and yanks the bounty hunter back to his feet. He gives Jango a choice: face arrest or help the Mandalorians stop Dooku. He is even willing to compensate Jango for his help. Jango agrees. Anakin picks up the fallen Darksaber from the dust. He ignites it, the unique flat black plasma blade crackling to life and casting an ominous dark shadow across the canyon walls. The remaining Death Watch commandos witness the weapon in the hands of the warrior who just bested the man who killed their leader. One by one, the armored Mandalorians drop to one knee, bowing their helmets in absolute submission to their new leader. Upon the high terrace, Count Dooku continues his retreat toward his solar sailor, but his escape route is instantly cut off. Mace Windu, Yoda, and a strike team of Jedi Masters emerge from the lower transport bays, lightsabers ignited. Dooku spins around to flee down the canyon path, only to find Anakin, Bo-Katan, Jango, and the entire vanguard of the Death Watch blocking the exit, weapons raised. Outnumbered, completely outgunned, and with his separatist leadership erased, Dooku realizes the futility of a fight. He slowly lowers his curved hilt, deactivates the Crimson Blade, and yields. In the weeks that follow, the political landscape of the galaxy fractures. Taken into Republic custody, Dooku directly testifies before the Galactic Senate, exposing the entire grand deception and revealing that Supreme Chancellor Palpatine is in fact the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. Before Palpatine can execute Order 66 or manipulate the courts, a joint strike force of Jedi Masters and Mandalorian shock troopers swarm the executive office. Palpatine is arrested, stripped of his authority, and locked inside a heavy reinforced Mandalorian sarcophagus, specifically lined with ancient Sith containment runes. To ensure he can never manipulate the Force or escape, the entire sarcophagus is dipped into a block of solid carbonite, sealing the Dark Lord permanently in frozen stasis. With the Sith threat neutralized, Anakin stands before the Jedi Council one last time. He detaches his lightsaber, places it on the central floor of the chamber, and officially declares he is leaving the Jedi Order. He refuses to be a tool for their rigid code any longer. Anakin returns to Naboo and Mandalore to fulfill his childhood lineage. Padme, now having an excuse to keep her relationship with Anakin strictly platonic to avoid scandal, encourages Anakin to go through with his betrothal to Bo-Katan Kryze. Developing feelings for Bo after seeing what she was willing to do to rescue his mother, he agrees. With the Darksaber in his possession and his mother Shmi safely under House Kryze's wing, Anakin assumes leadership. Alongside Bo-Katan, and with the diplomatic aid of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin actively seeks to amend the deep historical bridge between the pacifist New Mandalorians and the militant factions of Death Watch, uniting the fractured culture under a single strong banner. Rather than try to usurp Satine, Anakin offers himself to the Queen as her hand and regent, advising her and ruling in her stead in case of absence, just as Shmi had done for Adonai decades earlier. Satine happily agrees. During these intense diplomatic negotiations, the dormant feelings between Obi-Wan and Duchess Satine Kryze spark once more in the halls of Sundari. Realizing that the galaxy is changing and that he's already given enough of his life to a flawed council, Obi-Wan chooses the path he almost took a decade ago. He, too, officially leaves the Jedi Order, choosing a life at Satine's side, as Mandalore steps into a new era of unification. That's our theory. Star Wars is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them.
On that note, I think we're going to call it a night. You all have a good one.